We're catching up right now with Steve Fleming, Director of PwC. Steve, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about PwC. Tell us a little bit of insight into the company.
Sure. PwC, as you know, is a global accounting and consultancy firm. I'm specifically a part of our transaction services business, where I focus on business recovery services.
We were talking off camera, and I thought it was just so fascinating when you were talking about opportunities that exist right now in retail, particularly the switch that we're seeing from brick and mortar to e-commerce. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Sure. There's been a number of large bankruptcy filings in 2014, and they all seem to have a similar theme, which is, there's a lot of pressure against the traditional model of open up more stores as a way to grow revenue and drive profitability. And in the I think going back to 2000 with Amazon.com, who was really the pioneers of e-commerce, and they started with books. And it's really amazing if you look in the last 10, 15 years, just how that's broadened. And we're seeing that right now have a profound impact on the apparel business, where traditional brick and mortar apparel businesses, Gap, you name it, they're focusing and investing on their e-commerce business, where consumers take advantage of mobile technology apps on their phones to buy goods, or using the internet as opposed to taking the time to go into stores. And as a result of that, retailers who have failed to keep up, they're seeing their profits squeezed, and they're needing to increasingly file for bankruptcy in order to restructure their company and reduce the footprint of their store base.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about, 10 years ago or so, you'd walk into a music store and buy a CD, and these days it's just so easy to download it, and there's no need for that anymore.
That's right. I mean, I remember, when I was in high school, we would go to the mall and we'd spend time, walking around Tower Records or stores like that don't exist anymore. As the business model has evolved, these types of stores have increasingly become extinct. While I don't think that will be the same for apparel, people still want to go look and touch and try on their clothes. There has been a profound shift, and people are becoming more comfortable buying online, since the stores cater to, buy 3 or 4 different sizes. They give you the packaging, you just drop back in for free, the one that you don't like or that doesn't fit, and it shows up at your door in 24 to 48 hours. So that's a pretty difficult model for the brick and mortar stores to compete with.
Do you think the industry overall, conventional wisdom would be, is that most of the big name companies realize this and are making the shift to more e-commerce? Or are there still a lot of those big names out there that are like, people still want the quality of a brick and mortar, and I'm not going to put my attention there?
I think it's a mixed bag. There's a number of factors involved here. One would be certainly the quality of the management team. If the management team isn't keeping up with the times, we've certainly seen some big names struggling because of that, or because of their over expansion into traditional brick and mortar. And then I think you need to segment specialty high-end apparel versus if I use like a Ferragamo, for example. I think their customers, or Gucci, their customers will prefer to go into the store as opposed to other brands where this strategy makes more sense.
I couldn't agree with you more, because Ferragamo, you want to touch it. At Gucci, you want to touch it. But if it's
part of the experience.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. It's part of the thrill. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. With the U.S. economy recovering a little bit, what do you see as the future going forward for distressed deals? Still a lot of opportunity out there?
Yeah, I think it's industry specific, and we've seen over the past couple of years some shifts. I mean, my firm has been involved in a very high-profile coal case. So energy is a field where it really depends on commodity prices, and it's driven by global macroeconomic factors. Retail has continued to struggle. Healthcare, with all the regulatory reform and Obamacare and how that impacts the providers. Those are some of the industries where my firm has seen the most activity.
Well, Steve, great to talk to you and learn more about PwC today. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.